Hello again. This weekend saw the release of Skaventide, Age of Sigmar's 4th edition. Assuming if you're watching this channel, you're at least somewhat invested in Warhammer and perhaps in Age of Sigmar too. I picked up a box. Let's have a chat about what I think about it, and I'm going to ask you a couple of questions too. Let's do this. Well, it's been something of a ride to the release of 4th edition. There's been highs and there's been lows. For me, I've been quite excited with the impending release of this new version of Age of Sigmar. After finding an enjoyment in the lore, in the models during 3rd edition, but never really getting around to learning to play properly. I had a few games where I didn't quite understand. I've taken this opportunity to decide that I am going to learn to play Age of Sigmar 4th edition and hopefully have some fun with it. Now this is quite a lot to get through in one weekend, so I've not managed to get through all of the rules yet. I did manage to get hold of the new General's Handbook as well, which is a little bit more concise. In this video, I want to talk about how much I've got done of the new box set, what are my thoughts on the models in there, and what am I looking forward to. But more importantly, I want to ask you guys, what are you looking forward to? Are you looking forward to 4th edition? What do you think of the models? Have you managed to make it through painting any of the models yet? Okay, let's have a look at what I've managed to do so far then. To kick it off, let's have a look at the terrain then. Well, I've got the majority of this done now, other than the warp stone glow, so anything that's currently white will be bathed in a glowing green. Now, you may think that that's a little bit too much green, having the moss effect on there, but it'll look a little bit different, trust me. It's going to be much more saturated and vibrant, and these images aren't ideal. I've got quite a lot of lighting in here, so it's looking much brighter than it actually is. But overall, the terrain is much of a muchness. It's very similar to what we saw in the original Warcry and the Azerite ruins, so I've painted it to kind of match that, so I've got a little bit of versatility there. Next up then, let's have a look at the Stormcast. So this is the test model that I did. This is one of the old Liberators, I think. Now, I've gone for something a little bit darker. If you've watched my previous video from a few weeks back, I'll put a link up in the description. You can see what I did to paint this chap up as a test scheme. So I've kept it very, very simple, fading from gold down into a rust with a purple bluish glow. Now, the idea that there is that I can basically paint this chamber really, really fast. The first couple of models are the 3 human guys that keep these chaps grounded. So I'm almost there with them, and I've started to really kind of put the bases down on the Stormcast. I've got most of the gold to silver fading done, and I've started to block in the silver. I thought I'd be a little further along with this, but it is what it is. The Skaven took me a little bit longer than I'd planned, but I'm getting there. I'm hoping I'll have this finished by next week. So, onto those Skaven then. These are some amazingly good models, I have to admit. They went together so well, just like the Stormcast. In fact, these are some of the best built models I've seen from Games Workshop put out in terms of push fit. They are just so simple to do, and I have to say I wasn't really looking forward to painting them, but as I've worked on them, even though it's a very, very simple scheme, I've really got a new appreciation for the Skaven models. I was originally planning just to learn to play the game with them and then perhaps sell them on or give them away, but I think by now I may end up with a small Skaven army, would you believe? Certainly I'm going to be using them for that single player Warcry campaign that's in one of the compendiums or the battle tomes, whatever it's called, the Skaventide single player expansion. They've got quite a lot of character in terms of the different Skaven characters. Just they're really interesting compared to some of the other stuff that I've seen out there from Games Workshop, and each one of them is packed with detail, but you can get away with not painting as much of the detail as you want, really. So even with a very simple colour scheme like this, they still look really, really good. And again, I've not got the warpstone glow effect here, so any of the white areas will eventually have the warpstone glow on. And here we are, completed. All of the Skaven other than the warpstone glow and the terrain. Next week, I'll have it all done. How far along are you? I know this is a little bit of a different video to the ones that I've been doing over the past few weeks, so do let me know if it's something that you would like to hear me talk more about or less about. Is this kind of hobby content interesting to you? I will be going back to some of the older format videos over the next few weeks as well. I've been working on a number of projects in the background, and I hope that you'll really enjoy those videos too. Perhaps I will have my 4th edition box set completed by then, and if I do, that might be what we're showing. If not, it might be something a little bit different, something a little hotter. Yeah, that's a little bit weird, isn't it? Until next time, guys.